Let's see. No?
Nothing.
Wow.
That's so weird.
Wow.
Oh, yes. What did you do? I can hear it perfectly. How did you fix it?
It's an audio profile. So it says background noise suppression. So maybe I'll do a drone when we start.
Yeah. Last week when
Rebecca is here, so I'm letting her in. A goddess in the house.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Are you not greeted that way every time you walk into a room?
You know, Amir, now you've set the bar very, very high. Ah, I feel it.
It's my one of my favorite tiny but highly effective.
Oh, it's like oh. Oh, wow. That feels so good. It does. And I love that it's traveling. The sound normally does not transfer through Zoom. Yeah, we just fixed it. Really?
I'm happy to share with you how we did it. We just
Please.
we did a discovery.
Tell me, because mine's right here and I can never get it to transfer through. Amir has all the magic. Come on, Amir.
It was actually Chandel who said there is something in the Zoom setting that you can adjust.
Yeah.
And then I went and checked it out because it's funny. A year ago, I told Cromeline more than a year. I did her compassion cultivation training, and she does the drone, and it doesn't. You can't hear it.
Doesn't. Right.
And I said, it doesn't go through. And she said, yeah, I'm still doing whatever. I don't know. So.
All right. What's the secret, Chandel?
You go into Zoom preferences.
Okay.
Audio.
Okay.
Audio profile.
Okay.
Background noise suppression.
Right.
Low.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Really? Okay, let's try it. Hold on. I'm getting it.
Don't tell me you have a crystal ball.
I have my standby. Ready? Yep. Are we gonna have a sound bowl session?
Why not? Why not?
Yes. Really? Yes. Stop it. Wait. Hold on. Come on. Wait, let me kick. There we go. Yes? You guys, what a party! Stop! Yes! Oh my gosh, you are my hero, both of you. Chandel rocks the house.
She does.
I am so happy to hear this. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we have 2 minutes, 3 people in the waiting room. There was just 4, but they just left, so hopefully they'll be back.
Okay.
And sweet Gaia's face.
Oh, hi, Gaia. She's so sweet.
So just like last time, everybody's muted as they come in. If you want to have them participate, just ask them to raise their hand at the end.
Okay.
At the
And
end.
Chandel, when they
slide.
raise their hand, do you unmute them or do they have to unmute themselves?
So when they raise their hand, I have to ask them to unmute themselves. So simultaneously, I have to make them spotlight, ask them to unmute themselves, wait for them to see the prompt to unmute themselves.
Got
So
it.
it's kind of a tricky. I can allow them to unmute themselves, but we tend to leave that off just because of randos.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like questions, maybe I could just toggle that and allow them to unmute themselves, and I just make them the spotlight if we want to try it that way.
No, I think it's working. I'm okay with you unmuting them.
Okay.
And then we're gonna start with a short interview, right?
Yes, I would love that. Which we didn't do last time.
I know. I'm so sorry. I was not on time.
That's okay. It's okay. I won it. I won it.
You killed it.
Oh.
Well, not a good way to describe something that was so vital and vibrant.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that so much. I hope I did.
You did. It was amazing.
Oh, you're so
I guess my text didn't go through.
It did.
Or the words, it's hard.
No, it did. I think it's interesting. And you know how this is. When it's a smaller group, it almost feels more challenging, right? Even though I work with small groups, I just will, and it's Gabby's information, so translating it, I just want to make sure it's all coming across the way I want it to.
It's your information at this point.
It is my information now.
Yeah.
That's right, Amir. It's mine.
It's the universe.
It's ours.
Yeah, we're just bringing it down. I'm going to get undressed here. And I'll not do it in front of the camera.
Are you putting your boxers on?
In the house.
I'm like, wait, what kind of show are we doing here? So we have, let's see, 6 people in the waiting room. So Amir, I'm going to spotlight you, and then I'll bring Rebecca in just a moment.
Yeah,
right.
Sounds great.
Perfect.
Okay. Here we go.
Good evening, Guidely. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm so excited. Our second integration session with Rebecca Prephan, post Gabby Bernstein incredible workshop. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll wait a few more minutes to let people trickle in. And as we start, I'd love for you guys to drop in the chat here. Where are you from? And what is it, in one word, that you feel you mostly need right now? Serenity. If Rebecca will allow, maybe we start with a serenity prayer today.
Please. Would you
But
like
before that, I want to invite our incredible guide and my dear, dear friend, Rebecca Prephan. Are we spotlighted? There we are. Hi, darling. I'm so blessed to have you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Amir.
Thank you.
It's an honor to always be here, truly.
We have, and really, they're fortunate to have walked this path together for a little over 2 years now, almost
Yeah.
three, actually, coming close to 3 years. And what a journey, and
Mm.
how fortunate we are that we're able to share and to hold space and to inspire. Um, so, before we start our integration session, would it be okay if I asked you some questions
Of
so
course.
that everybody gets to know you
Oh my goodness.
a little better?
Oh, yes. Okay. Absolutely.
I hope there is enough spotlight in the room to highlight the beauty and this wisdom and the incredible force that you are.
Mm.
So
Thank you.
what made you go on this journey and become a guide?
Mm. Well, the journey with Guidely or prior to
No, no, prior,
my
like
life.
in your life, yeah.
Hmm. I had a very challenging childhood growing up. And from that, being an only child, I had to do a lot of self resolution, self soothing, figure out my own ways to cope in what really was um, it was an abusive situation. So over time, and as I went through this period of time in my life, there were things that occurred for me, which I didn't necessarily expect when they were happening. I didn't always know what was happening, but I almost was able to experience the situation with compassion as opposed to feeling any sort of anger or resentment.
Mm,
So over time, I was really able to utilize that in my life and witness when other people might be going through similar things. However, it was unspoken. I was able to pick up on the subtleties of what others uh, were experiencing or not saying. So over time, I just had to really surrender to this is something that I'm called to do. Uh, and get my ego out of the way because I had always thought, oh, I'm not credited enough to do that. Who am I to say that I can do that? And I really just had to surrender because I was doing it every day anyways. So that's where I'm at. And that's kind of how I found my way into Guidely.
I'm so glad you gave yourself the permission and
Mm.
the authority to do that. You are such a gifted and incredible guide,
Ugh,
really.
thank you. I feel that. Thank you. I mean, I feel your words.
I hope I'll make sure that we repeat them so that they land. So I want you to be aware of something. This is to you and the audience. Before we started this session, we made some audio adjustments. Um, so now, due to those audio adjustments, I think we're hearing, is there a cat or a dog?
Oh
What?
my gosh, you're hearing my dog snoring.
Okay, so very soothing. So it's not just a ball that we're hearing the dog too.
Wow. Okay, we are picking up my dog.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
That's fun. Now that I know. Yes.
So tell us a little how you work with individuals and where do you feel is the most your biggest gift and who benefit the most from working with people, because I know you have such a broad um, ability, and but what is it, where is your genius zone if you
Mm. Well, I try to meet people where they are. And no further along than where they're at. And I know when we begin working, or when a client goes to a guide or goes to someone to begin working with them, there can be a lot of fear and anxiety around that, a lot of internal expectation that there's something that they have to do. And there isn't anything they have to do other than show up. And that's the first thing. And the second thing is to surrender to that time and space because it's theirs. And to show up for yourself is one of the hardest things for people to do. And so when they show up for themselves, that's a moment to honor. So we take that time and we honor that together. And during our sessions, I really allow things to unfold naturally because I am intuitively guided, even though I have many psychological principles that I utilize in session. But my gift is hearing the unspoken. And whatever isn't being spoken over time, it's not because someone is in denial of it or they are afraid to say it. It just may simply be they're not recognizing it. And so I help to bring those things to light in a way that they recognize it, not to where I'm speaking it for them. So it really becomes this communion, this integrated session that we have with one another. But I also bring in the principle and the ancient practice of ritual. And I work in the form of ritual. It's a very sacred space. I bring in ancient practices, indigenous practices, different, even, I wouldn't say religious practices, but the roots of how I was raised was in the Orthodox religion. So the tradition in that, which was imprinted in me at a very young age, there's something very healing about the practice. And so we really engage in a practice together that they are then able to take on their own and utilize independently. So they're learning new tools, they're learning a new way of expression and also a new modality of healing.
That's so incredible. I want to share with our guests here tonight why we invited you to do the integration sessions for Gabby, and asked you one more question and then dive into it. But before that, those of you who have not responded in the chat, I would love for you to drop in where you're from and what do you mostly need right now, in one word. So we asked you to join us to be facilitating the integration sessions because I find many similarities between you and Gabby. And I think you, both of you, she had done a phenomenal work traveling on the what we call here in Gaili the woo-woo scale. So anywhere from thought therapy to spiritual, very spiritual practices. She had done, and then not just she integrated both of those spectrums, but she really integrated different parts of her, who she is and her experiences in life, into the way she shows up in real life. And you and I had the pleasure of spending time with her a few weeks ago, and it was really incredible to see how well she walks her thoughts. It's not just, buzzwords and book and texts and whatever.
Right.
So thank you for answering the call and doing this.
Thank you.
So moving into a little bit of the integration session, what was your biggest takeaway from Gabby's workshop?
Her transparency. I think in her teachings, she's very honest about why and what her background, what she came from, what her trauma was. And even though she's still uncovering, her healing, and her healing is a daily journey, just as mine is, just as all of us, are experiencing, the work never ends. And that's what I tell my clients. The work never ends. Even though we get to a point where we feel, empowered, down the road, there's always going to be something else that shows up that breaks us open a little bit more. And it's in that space, that breaking of open, that we learn, that we can absorb, that we are more receptive. And I feel like she continues to break herself open.
She
And
does.
yes, and that is what I resonated with. And the transparency and the addictions that she's had in her lifetime, and finally surrendering to, she realized even 10 years after being sober, she became sober at 25. It wasn't for 10 years later that she realized that she actually has an addictive personality. So that was another aspect of healing, because it was something that she wasn't connecting with because she was disassociated, right, from her own trauma. And when we're disassociated from something which she was experiencing, we do not process the reality of a situation. We're only processing our own reality.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're only processing our own reality, we can create that reality to be anything that we want it to be, but it doesn't make it true. And it doesn't make it real, because everything else comes in, everything else has to come to play. I can say that I'm not addicted to something, but my behavior may show that I am.
I just had one drink.
Exactly. It was just one.
It was
A few times.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you to everybody who responds here so vulnerably and beautifully in the spirit of this workshop. And I hear serenity and patience and peace. And what else did I see here? Calm and validation. Hi, Monica. And release and healing. What else? I'm really touched by some of the words here. True self-awareness. So she brought to our workshop with her beautiful tools to deal with anxiety. And you have done an incredible work embodying that and showing, repeating that, and also expanding that in our first integration session. Now we have an opportunity to weave into all of the asks for tonight and see what transpires.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Are we ready for that?
We are.
And here we are.
Beautiful. I love that. It raises the vibration in the room, so thank you. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you again, Amir, for seeing in me the resonance that you were hoping to connect with Gabby and integrate the work into the Guidely sessions. I am very honored to be doing so. Gabby, as we just shared, she shared about her personal journey through addiction and struggles and depression. And there was another thing that I actually resonated with Gabby on, and it was she shared that she went through postpartum depression. And when a woman goes through postpartum depression, which is something that I went through without realizing I was going through it, we have so many hormones running through our body after childbirth that it's difficult for us to actually process what we're feeling, because we're in the emotion of whatever we're experiencing. It wasn't until later that I realized it. So to be able to identify with her on that level as well really helped me to connect even another layer with Gabby. And so I'm very grateful for that. She went through 4 tools, but also implemented another. So, and I'm going to share a couple of additional tools with you. The first thing that she spoke about was the very first step is acknowledging the anxiety. And anxiety is actually a trauma response. So the essence of honoring or acknowledging something is actually acknowledging the trauma. It's acknowledging the trauma of what it is that you have gone through, the residual effects of what that actually is in your life, and how that plays out. Because even though trauma could have occurred many years ago, maybe even as a child, or even prior to birth, we could have trauma in the womb. We may not necessarily remember it, but our body does. And so our body continues to reveal what we are experiencing without the cognitive awareness of it. So anxiety is the basic, it's the residual effect over the trauma. So anxiety is just a reaction. It's the fight or flight. It's the inability to be present with ourselves. And anxiety also deals with the future. It's what's going to happen. I can't control what's about to happen. So I need to be able to control something. So there's a lot of fear and control around the process or the experience of anxiety. Now, on the side note and on the flip side of anxiety is depression. Now, anxiety deals with the future, depression deals with the past. So when we're depressed about something that has happened, that is out of our control, that we can't in our mind fix or change. And then couple that with anxiety, now you're worried about the future. So what's missing? There's a big gap right there. What's missing is the present. So when we can acknowledge the anxiety, that brings us into presence. It brings us into the moment. And that is the first step, is the acknowledgement. Now, we can acknowledge anxiety, or we can acknowledge anything else that we might be experiencing, which is just a residual effect of trauma. You could be experiencing anger. And I want you to think about this right now. What is it that you're experiencing? What is that emotion inside that you're feeling or that often comes up? And just give yourself a moment to consider what that might be. Now I'm going to ask you to take a breath in, and we're going to take a breath in together, and we're going to do 3 breaths. So let's go ahead and just straighten our back for a moment and put both feet on the floor, on the ground beneath you. When we plant both feet on the ground, that helps us ground. It helps us connect and root to the earth energy. So as you're pondering, what is the emotion that you're feeling? I just want you to take a breath in. So let's go ahead and take a breath in, breathing in and exhaling. Breathing in again and exhaling. And now on this last breath in, I want you to think about that emotion, identify it, breathing in and exhaling everything out. Good. Now, if you have a pen and paper, I'd like you to just write down whatever the emotion is that you've identified. Good. Okay. So the first is the acknowledgement, right? Now, what I'd like to do is next to the word that you wrote and identified, I want you to write the word or the emotion that you want to feel. What do you want to feel in place of that emotion? Good. And if everyone has been able to identify the emotion, give me a little wave or a heart in your box, just so that I know that we've all been able to identify what it is that we're feeling and what it is that we want to feel. Beautiful. Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you, Steve. Beautiful. Thank you. Is it Destina? Destine? You can type it in the chat box. Okay, beautiful. Thinking and disconnection. Okay, great. Okay, beautiful. I feel supported. I need to feel supported. Destiny. Oh, beautiful. The spelling is different. Thank you, Destiny. Annette, anxiety and safe. Yes. Monica, can they both be positive? Sure. Is there anything that you feel though? Is there a negative emotion that you experience? Is there any anxiety? We're trying to simply just identify the trauma response that you might experience. And if you can't pick on one right now or grab onto one right now, what is an emotion that occurs when you get triggered? How about that? Okay, Marilyn. Is it? Yes. Marilee. Scared and confident. Marilee as in be happy. Beautiful. Thank you. Perfect. Okay. And let me just scroll up a little. I know I missed a few. Yes, Jim, it makes sense. Thank you for the acknowledgement, and I'm happy that that landed for you. It feels like fear and panic, but it's not current, like not in the present moment, calm and peace. Okay, great. Okay. And it doesn't have to be in the present moment. And if it's not in the present moment, that's great, because we want you to be able to be present in the session. We just want to identify what it is that we go through, what it is that we experience, what are the things that come up with it for us. Okay, so now that you've identified what you want to feel, I want you to write a 4-word mantra around that. For example, peace begins with me. Healing begins with me. Happiness begins with me. I am all love. Safety begins with me. Beautiful. Now, when you have identified your 4-word mantra, I would like you to type it in the chat box so that we can support that together in the room. So thank you for sharing that. Yes, destiny. Safety begins with me. I feel peace now. Beautiful. Confidence is me. We want 4 letters, Marilee. So let's say, how about confidence is in me? How does that feel? Or you can utilize another word. Support begins with me. Beautiful. Yes, confidence is in me. Peace is in me. Yes, Steve. Monica, I am very loved. Beautiful. Is there anyone that we're missing? I like happiness begins. So we want Dory, we want it to be present. So we don't want it to begin, we want it to happen as if it's already occurring. So can we rewrite this? I'm not sure what it is. Obviously, you want to feel happiness. How about I feel happy now? Patience flows through me. Beautiful. I am safe and protected. Yes. I feel happy now. Beautiful. Love and light, everyone. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anyone. If I did, just go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, beautiful. So we've identified many mantras. So we're going to hang on to that and we'll come back to that in a little while. Now, the second thing that she did, the second tool, which we actually did not do in the last session because I was working on I brought in another tool, but she did a heart hold. And a heart hold is a full body relaxation technique. And you're going to put, it doesn't matter which hand, one hand on your heart and the other hand on your belly. Now in this position, we're just going to focus. And what I love about this is not only did Gabby bring light to this, but another speaker, Dr. Gabor Mate, that I'd like to bring into this for a moment, also spoke about this, bringing attention to the emotion. When we bring loving attention to the emotion, something beautiful occurs. And let's see if it happens together without me telling you. So with this, I want you to just focus on that emotion that you were feeling, whether it was anxiety or anxiousness, which is the same thing, fear, lack of safety, whatever it is, just focus on it with your heart being held by your hand and your belly being held by your other hand. And as you focus on it, you're going to take a breath in. And as you breathe in, breathing in, your belly begins to expand. And then as you breathe out, you let everything go. You're here with the emotion. You're not against it. You're not ahead of it. You're not behind it. You're with it. So breathing in, belly expanding, acknowledging the emotion with love and compassion. And then breathing out. And relaxing a little deeper into the body. And let's do this one more time, just holding our heart, holding our belly, being present with the emotion, breathing in, and breathing out. Good. Now, what happened for anyone with the emotion? You can go ahead and type in the chat box. Did anything begin to occur as you were holding the emotion with your heart in your hand? Compassion. Yes. Thank you. A warm feeling. Beautiful. Softer. Love that. Yes. Validation. It started to release. Yes. Deeper understanding of the emotion. Yes, Steve, thank you. It's beautiful. Validation. Perfect. Isn't that amazing when we sit with ourselves for a moment? You realize the trigger of the holiday and allowed it to release. Yes. So good. So good. And we're approaching those triggers, right, because of the holidays. And there's a lot of energy around holidays. So this is beautiful. Non-judgmental, surrender. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for this, because that's exactly what occurs. Dr. Gabor Mate shared this, that when we are present with the emotion begins to release. The emotion begins to subside. It begins to lighten. And this is something that Gabby gave attention to. She gave attention to this in the heart hold exercise. So beautiful. Thank you for all of that. Now, everything is a vibration. Everything that we say, speak, sing, hear, everything has a vibrational frequency to it. And breath is a vibration. So when we can sit with our breath in a heart hold connection, we're vibrating at a higher level. And what this means is when we begin to sit with ourselves with love and compassion, as opposed to the opposite feelings that we don't necessarily want to feel, but we acknowledge it. We have compassion for it, right? The vibration of our breath raises. The vibration of our presence and the resonance of how we're operating raises. And this is really important. It's very important because we want the higher vibration. As our vibration rises, the energy around us rises. So anything lower than the vibration that we are currently operating from can't find its way to our life. Why? Because our energy is too high. So this is important. We just rose the vibration in our own body and our energy field. And that is huge. And I commend you for doing this right now. Now, the next exercise or tool that Gabby brought in was the VU chant. And the VU chant was created by Dr. Peter Levine. And he created the VU chant, or the VU sound, if you will, to stimulate the vagus nerve, which connects our brain to all the organs in our body. When the vagus nerve is stimulated, it has the ability to soothe. It starts sending the rest to our body, the rest and digest, if you will. So it allows our body to rest, and it also allows our body to digest because it controls our digestion. So when we're feeling out of sorts, the VU chant, as well as another exercise that I'm going to incorporate and teach you, is going to help self-soothe in moments that you're needing more grounding. Like when we have our feet on the ground, it gives us an opportunity to ground, connect with the earth energy beneath us. So what I'd like to do, and I'll answer a question after this, is let's do the VU chant 3 times. Yes, the vagus nerve, exactly. Not vegan, no. Did it come across as vegan? Did I say vegan? Vegas, yes. So let's go ahead and we're going to breathe in. We're going to pause at the top of the breath. And then on our exhale, we're going to say VU. And it'll sound like this. Breathing in. I'll pause. Voo. Good. Now, the voo is a vibration. And as we breathe in, we're saying voo and slowly exhaling. And as we're slowly exhaling, we're relaxing, we're stimulating the vagus nerve, okay? So let's do this together 3 times. Breathing in, pause, voo. Okay, we want to say this together so that you're experiencing it. And if you're in a space that you can't be too loud, that's okay. Just quietly say it out loud so that you begin to feel that vibration. And with your heart and hand, your heart hold connection, your hand on your chest and your heart, the other hand on your belly. Breathing in, hold, and one more time. Breathing in, hold, letting it all out. Good. Now with the Vu chant, and you can continue holding your heart if that feels good. With the Vu chant, there's also an Om chant. Now Om utilizes the highest frequency of the universe, 432 hertz. And this is considered, the Om is considered the music of the universe. Yes, Om. So in place of Vu, you can also chant Om. And that will raise your vibration even higher. It's amazing to do in the car. You can do it before a phone call, before you have a conversation with someone, and you'll begin to feel your body. How are we all feeling? I should have asked you what you were feeling before 0 to 10, 10 being the highest. If you can assess what that was before and what you're feeling now, I'd love to hear. So Sally, you were feeling a 10. What are you feeling now? I was low before 2. Okay. So are you 2 now or are you a 10 now? Sally, you're a 10 now. That's okay. And this is something Gabby also spoke about. When we give attention to something that we're feeling, we're going through the tools. Sometimes when we give attention to it, it increases it for a moment. And that's all right. We want to get present with it again. So go ahead and put your heart, your hand back to your heart and your hand on your belly. And I just want you to sit with this for a moment, just allowing yourself to breathe and be present. Good. And as I'm reading, I just want you to sit with your breath, feeling your lower abdomen expand on your inhale and release on your exhale. Good. Okay. Gaia, 6-7 to a 2.5. Amazing. Steph, you were a 4, now you're a 1. Amazing. Chandel, 8 to a 5. Monica, 6 to a 3. Yes, the scale is 0 being the lowest, 10 being the highest of what you were feeling. So we want the number to lower after we do these exercises. Thank you, Chandel. Thank you. Destiny, a 10 to a 6. Amazing. Beautiful. That's what we want. Now, for the next exercise, which is also a vagus nerve stimulation exercise, maybe you're not in a space where the Vu chant or an Om chant is resonant for you right now. But there is another way to do this. And there are other exercises you can do to stimulate the nerve so that it sends the hormone to our body to relax. It sends the message to our body to rest, so that our digestive system can begin to ease and relax. So inside the ear, and I'll try to get closer, there's a little divot at the top of our ear, right underneath the little lip. And you can feel that spot right there. It's kind of like this little hollow area right here. So just gently, not too much pressure. And I'll put my hair behind my ear. Not too much pressure, but you're just going to gently rub in a circular motion. Good. And just allow yourself to continue rubbing and just gently breathing with your own natural breath. And you might be able to feel yourself take a deeper breath in. Good. Now let's move to the other ear, doing it on the same spot on the other ear, just gently. I actually don't know what the name of this part of the ear is called, but it is just a little divot on the inside at the top of the ear. Good. You may just gently feel the subtleties of your body just settling in a little bit deeper. Yeah, perfect. Now, the second area in the ear that you can stimulate is the lower part of the ear. So there's this little cartilage lip right here. Just on the inside, directly down from the top of the ear where you were, all the way down, just in that little lip right there, you're just going to gently massage that. Not on the inner ear, just not inside your ear, just on the exterior lip of your ear. And just go ahead and gently massage that. Just naturally breathing with your own breath. Maybe even close your eyes for a few moments. Good. Good. And then on the other ear, you can go ahead and switch now. Oh, yes. I'm happy that this helps the vertigo, Sally. You're very welcome. And this helps to relax. Now, vertigo, you have crystals in between the ear canals. It's actually liquid that crystallizes. So what happens is it prevents your ability to balance yourself. So with both feet on the ground and stimulating the vagus nerve, this will help draw your energy to a place that's more centered and balanced. So wonderful. I'm happy that helped. What number are we at right now? You can just throw a number in there. 3. Beautiful. 3, 6, Destiny. Chandel, 3, Marilee, 3. Steph, you're a 1. Beautiful. Destiny, okay. 1.5, Gaia. Amazing. Yes. Sally, mine is not from crystals. Okay. Ah, okay. Annette 3, Sally, you're 1.5 now. Beautiful. Yes, that's amazing. That's amazing. I even feel more relaxed doing the ear massage, which is very helpful right now. So I'm probably at a 1 myself. I was probably at an 8 when we started the session. So now I'm at a 1. So thank you. All right. Yes, calmer. Beautiful. Monica, you're a 2. Excellent. Okay. Now we've worked on the vagus nerve, and the next one is that Gabby shared with us, that is also another tool that she has in her book, Happy Days. And all of these tools that I'm sharing, with the exception of the one that is the inner ear one, and another one that I'm going to share, these are all in her book. But the next one is EFT. It's tapping. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. And the tapping is tapping 9 points, pressure points on your body. And what I'll do is we'll just go through them together first. And then what we're going to do is have a setup statement. And we're going to speak that setup statement together 3 times. And then I'll be speaking different statements throughout the tapping that we're going to do together. So the first position or point is right here on the side of the hand. It's the meaty part of the hand right here. So I like to tap with 2 or 3 fingers. When you tap with a few more fingers, it gives a little more of a vibration, okay? So we're just tapping the side of the hand. Beautiful. And now we're going to tap above the eyebrow. Again, I'm using 2 to 3 fingers. And you can kind of tap together with them, or like a piano, 1, 2, 3 with your fingers. Good. And now the side of the eye. And now under the eye. Under the nose, right above the lip. And then on the chin in the crease, just below the lip. Good. And now the collarbone. I like to use all of my fingers. Every time I come to my collarbone, I just feel myself breathe a little bit deeper. Next is under the arm. It's a little lower. It's kind of like the bone, which is right on the side of where your, as Gabby said, your bra strap would be, or maybe your tank top would hit, right? And then the 9th point is on top of the head. And I like to use all of my fingers that are available. And let's just take that breath in at the top of the head. Good. Beautiful. Now I want you to just remember the number that you were at after the last exercise. Now, this is an opportunity for us to create our mantra, right? Now, the 4 words that you used, that you created that feeling of what you want to feel, we're going to utilize those words. So you're going to say that to yourself for the setup statement that we're going to speak 3 times, okay? But I want you to hear what I'm going to say first. Even though I have this issue, I love and accept myself. Even though I have this issue, I love and accept myself. Even though I have this issue, I love and accept myself. Now, with the first tapping, I want you to say that mantra, your 4 words, Beautiful. And as I begin to speak on the next one, you'll repeat after me, okay, with everything that I say. Even though I have this issue, it's safe to let this go. Side of the eye, I'm open to releasing this issue. Under the eye, I'm finding more peace in my body. Under the nose, I'm letting go now. Under the lip, I'm strong and grounded. On the chest, the collarbone, in every cell of my body. Under the arm, right here, right now. On top of the head, I am safe and grounded in my body right now. Back to the side of the hand, it's safe to let this go now. Above the eye, I'm letting this all go now. Side of the eye, I'm finding more peace in my body. Under the eye, I'm letting everything else go now. Under the nose, I'm strong, grounded, and safe. Under the lip, in every cell of my body. Collarbone, right here, right now. Under the arm, right now. On top of the head, I'm safe. Right now, I'm safe. Side of the hand, I'm starting to feel more relaxed right now. Above the eyebrow, my body is surrendering. Side of the eye, because I am safe. Under the eye, I love myself as I am right now. Collarbone, compassion fills the cells in my body. Under the arm, right now, I am filled with compassion. On top of the head, I am grounded and safe in my body. Good. Bring your hands down on your lap. Just allow yourself to be present with yourself. Bring your hand back to your heart, your other hand on your belly. Whatever you're feeling, let it flow. Don't hold anything back. You're safe. Good. Beautiful. Now I want you just to write in the chat box how you're feeling. Beautiful. Oh, amazing. Wonderful. Happy tears. Beautiful, Sally. Love. Wonderful, Steve. Relaxed. Yes. Refreshed. Optimistic. Beautiful. Tears of relief and compassion for self. Safe, loved, and ready for bed. Beautiful. Amazing. We only have a moment or two left. Are there any questions? Is there anything that you'd like to share? Go ahead and raise your hand, and then I'll ask you to unmute. Chandel will just have to spotlight you.
Do you mind if I join you here?
Please.
This gets better. I'm gonna request this on a weekly basis now. And Monica, who is our sleep coach that is participating here, will have to find a new purpose in life because we'll all be ready to sleep.
I love that.
This is so beautiful. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here.
Thank you.
Hi, Marilee. Marilee needs to unmute. Chandel, can we help Marilee? And just so you know, guys, we're going to offer tonight, those of you who participated. So first of all, when we hosted Gabby last week, we gave away 2 tickets to her live workshop in New York City. And we're offering to all participants in the... We can't hear you, Marilee. Would love for you to try that.
I was waiting for you to finish speaking.
Oh, there you are.
Now we're here. So just one second, Marilee. I just want to complete this. So we're going to offer between all the participants in this integration sessions 2 more tickets to a live event with Gabby Bernstein in New York. We're only giving away the tickets, flights, and everything else is on you guys. But if you're interested in participating in the raffle, we're going to drop here in a second. Here I see Gaia already posted a form you can fill if you'd like to participate in the raffle. And just so you know, the recording for Gabby Bernstein's workshop for the first integration session and for this integration session will be available in our community that is now free for all of you. So join community.guidely.com. I recognize here some old friends and close friends of ours that are part of this community. So thank you for being part of our community. And those of you who have not joined yet are welcome to join and enjoy those recordings. Yeah, so Guidely is a startup. We're a 3-year-old startup that was put together. I'm the founder and I'm the CEO, and we were really built with a vision of the mission of never walk alone. So we want to support individuals on their personal development and healing journeys. Think of it as an alternative approach to mental and spiritual health. We have a community that is, I want to say, 2,600 members. And we have guides from 18 countries around the world with different methods and different specialties. And we support individuals every day on their journeys. And if you would like, we have one of our resident guide who matches individuals with our guides is Chandel Pino. She is with us here. Hi, Chandel. And if you'd like to schedule a matching session with her, you can do that. Or if you'd like to schedule a discovery session with Rebecca, you can do that as well. I think both of those links are in the chat right now. So we are a for-profit organization. Those events we do for free as part of our giving to our community and inspire and empower individuals. But we also, the sessions with the guides are for a fee. They're not free. So we have I think it's the first discovery session is $19, but then once you engage a guide, every guide have their own fee schedules. I feel like this was an incredible expanded integration session, really beautifully orchestrated and done. I really appreciate everybody who joined us tonight. We have a tradition. We invite everybody to unmute and open their Zoom cameras. Rebecca, I want to say you are so gifted, and we are so fortunate to have you facilitate and hold space for us. Do you have any words to close?
I do. A quote by Martin Luther King. It's only in darkness when you see the stars.